One time, I was married to a man, but wait, it gets worse.
I am on the verge of tears because there's someone that I want to be with and I can't be with them.
Every time he looked up at the camera, this is what he was. It was giving this. It was giving this the whole time. I swear. Every time he said, "I'm so close to crying."
I said, let me see your phone real quick. Let me check that location issue and figure out what's going on. As soon as I open the phone, he's on the screen to delete apps. He hadn't deleted it yet, but he had Grindr and another dating app where you meet multiple people to do multiple things at a time.
Oh my. Just witnessing or getting a glimpse, I should say, into the most diabolical things that men do to women, it really reveals a lot about the state of men, right? Like the character of men. I was on a live last night and we were having the old, what's it called? The masculinity, femininity, divine masculine, divine feminine conversation. And if you guys know me, you know I'm not a believer in divine anything, especially masculinity or femininity. I think it is counterintuitive to think that either one of these things are divine or quote unquote God given. Even and I don't even believe in God, but like even if I did believe in God, I wouldn't think of that. I don't think God gives a fuck about gender. One of the craziest things about religion to me is that y'all think that God gives a fuck about you being a man or a woman. You think when you go to heaven, if you go to heaven, you think demons and angels are male and female? No. They're nothing. I guarantee you, if any of that shit is real, it just doesn't make any sense that they would have sexual reproductive organs or like anything. Like none of that makes sense. None of that makes sense to me. But anyways, neither here nor there. In that conversation, we were discussing masculinity and femininity, and you guys know my take on masculinity is all masculinity is toxic because it was created to be toxic. It was never created to be a good thing. What they wanted to do was when they created masculinity, the men who created masculinity, they wanted to use it as a way to subjugate women. So they said that these are traits that men have innately, right? Even though masculinity is a social construct, they said these are traits that men are born with. Men are more disciplined. Men are stronger. They're better under pressure. They're whatever, stoic, all that stuff. Men actually want to provide. They work harder. Like all of these things are things that they attributed to men, right? With no proof, with zero proof that men work harder than women, that men are providers by nature, like no proof whatsoever. They just ascribe these things to men as a way to be like, that's why you got to go get in the kitchen and cook for that man, ladies. That's why you can't, that's why you need to just give up the cooch anytime he wants it because he's your protector. I mean, you owe him that. He's putting his life on the line for you every day. When you go out of the house all alone and he's not even around you within a fucking thousand yards, he's still protecting you. So give some coochie when you get home. Like it was created for that reason, right? And I'm like, no, like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. When I think of men, I think of undisciplined. I think of immoral. You know what I'm saying? When I think of men, I think of like the most worst, vile human beings on the planet. Not to say that all men are vile and the worst human beings on the planet, but when I think of men, those are the things that kind of come to my head because the most vile, inhumane things are done at the hands the hands of men, right? And most men ain't doing anything to stop it. Most men aren't doing anything to stop it. And then you see example after example after example of how vile men are within their own relationships with women. You get these little glimpses When you look at it holistically, you come to the conclusion that men are vile. And then the men say, oh, not all men. And then you go, okay. And then I go, well, it's like saying that there's some good cops and some bad cops when we already know that whatever good cops exist, they get kicked out of the force if they actually try to push back. There is no such thing as a good police officer because all good police officers have seen vile things done by bad police officers and they turned the other cheek and they rationalize it however they wanted to, but they all done it. I'm not being hyperbolic at all. They all have seen some bad things and they didn't report it. All of them, every single one. There's no way to avoid it. So with that being said, when you look at men and how men move and act in the world, how we don't say anything, right, about all the vile shit. But then you see how many stories come out about the things that men do to women. I'm like, oh yeah, no, men are terrible. Like, I don't want to fucking hear it. Masculinity terrible, men terrible as a group. Because this shit is crazy.
So you know how you tell someone a story and you don't realize how messed up it is until you see their face? So it was one time I was married to a man, but wait, it gets worse. So this guy like really, really liked women, specifically women that were like under 5'3", 100 pounds and blonde. I'm 5'8" and do not match that description. So he liked these other type of women so much that he would point them out to me on TV and in movies and even in person, like, see that? That's the perfect woman. That's the body type you should be going for. I can't lose 5 inches off my height. Now keep in mind, this absolute prize of a man also did nothing to help around the house at all, ever. And I would get up at 4:30 in the morning, go to the gym, go do 8 hours of deep tissue massage at the clinic I worked for, come home, make dinner, take care of the house, and he would just kind of watch Star Trek all day. Oh no, he was a firefighter though. He worked like 4 days a month. He didn't become a cop until about 2 weeks before I left him. Anyway, one day he just wakes up and realizes he has not been contributing much around the household, and he is going to wake up early every single morning, and he is going to help me make my breakfast smoothie before I go to the gym. I don't know. I mean, like taking the trash out, mowing the lawn, cleaning one toilet would be super cool, but I'm going to take it where I can get it because if you have ever been a traumatized girly in a relationship with somebody with weaponized incompetence, you know what I'm talking about. So about a month and a half goes by of this man helping me with my morning smoothie, and it's got a funky flavor, and it is funky. But you know, if you've ever been with somebody with weaponized incompetence and you've just been like a victim to all of their garbage and their sociopathy, you can't just be like, hey, that's bad, because then they'll just stop helping you in general and then you'll become a villain somehow. So you have to shut up and just drink the disgusting smoothie, right? Until one day I walk in to the kitchen early and I catch this man scooping Crisco and trying to mask it with Hershey's syrup into my morning smoothie. Now keep in mind, this man is actively trying to convince me that I am overweight and he's only attractive to girls that are stick figures while poisoning me with lard. His reason was that I was getting too skinny by working too hard and he wanted to make sure that I was still healthy. Wouldn't you give me a burger? Why would you sneak lard? That's a heart attack. That's not health. So this man did everything possible to make me as insecure as humanly possible about my body while actively poisoning me to fatten me up so he could also try to make me more insecure about my body. Bear, I'll take the bear. But don't worry though, because he did in fact find himself a 5'3" blonde woman who voted for Trump because she believes that he was a better public speaker. So at least he didn't end up with that cousin he cheated on me with at our family reunion who also fits the same description. I've grown since then.
First of all, I want her to tell all my stories. Dynamic storytelling. 10s all around. Second of all, what the fuck? What are you doing? Who would do like just crazy shit? They made a character in a movie called Misery starring Kathy Bates and James Caan. Kathy, that was a character that they created in a movie, right? That was a character that they created in a movie. Whole time, there are men running around here that actually are Kathy Bates's character in the movie. Like, Kathy Bates hobbled James Caan. She like kept him sick, kept him down. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted to keep him. So she did all these things to like keep him there. He like, cause he got into a car accident and whatever. He was bedridden for a while and she wanted to keep him in the bed because she found out who he was. He was a an author, whatever. So, anyways, that is what that man was doing. And yeah, that's extreme. The thing about all of these stories that we're going to get into is that a lot of this stuff is extreme. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every man does all of these things, but I'm saying there are so many things that men do that are in the vein of all of these scenarios. It's undeniable. It's just crazy how wild men are and the shit that they do to women. It's fucking ridiculous. This says POV. You find the video your cheating husband sent to his mistress. Oh my God.
I am on the verge of tears because there's someone that I want to be with and I can't be with them. I feel like I can genuinely love her as she can love me. This week has been one of the hardest weeks of my life. Last Sunday we had to break up and had to end things, and I keep seeing all of these pictures and comments and all these things, and she seems like she is the happiest person alive. And yeah, give or take, she's probably very happy I've gone out of her life. I mean, I don't know. I took it as that I'm just not good for her, or not good enough, or both. I don't know. It's just something that you want that you can't have in this very moment, and everything inside of me wants me to be able to be with this girl. I want to be able to make things work so bad so I can be with this chick. This beautiful specimen of a person. Inside and out. I am constantly looking at her B-reels, Instagram, Visco, freaking everything. I drive past her house twice a day, see if that she's even home. They're probably hiding her car in the garage for me now because I've left so many notes on her damn car. And it's like, she's probably so sick and tired of me. There's a freaking gift coming for her that I ordered for her. Like, how am I supposed to give it to her? I can't just let it, like, burn a hole in my pocket. It's gonna eat me alive. I literally can't even, like, function without her, dude. I'm trying to not lose my mind. I'm like this close to just bawling. I'm this close. I've already done it enough this week. Had to get so many freaking eye drops because I got an eye infection from crying so much. I'm literally dying. I'm literally dying. I mean, like, she cried and it made me almost cry too, but I mean, like, not it's a bad thing that it's crying, but it's like, I didn't get any, like, secondary closure from her. I think last time it was easier because she actually told me she loved me. She can go off and do whatever she wants with anybody else and blah, 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 which literally makes me sick to my stomach. So I'm, like, so jealous and protective. I feel I gravitate towards her so hard, and I feel so drawn towards her. Like, the only thought I have right now is, like, to be with her and to, like, spend my time with her and, like, dedicate my effort to her. Anyways, I'm losing my shit. This has been probably the worst week of my life, other than the second week of when I got my tonsils out. I can't do this, dude. I need to see her. I'm literally, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm losing my mind, and I feel like I need to see her. But Macy, I don't know if you'll ever get this. I don't know if I'll ever have the guts to send you this, but I'll be damned if so. But just know that I love you. I love you. I care for you so much. You are the most important to me. There has been not a thought has crossed my mind this whole week that has not involved you. And I am losing my mind. I am losing my mind. I literally can't. Like, if you were to give me closure, tell me your feelings and everything, yes. Yeah, that's pointless in your mind. But it's like, to me, that would help me move on, if that's really what you want. But, goddamn, literally. Like, oh, the potential I know is eating me alive. And, like, we would make such a good team. And I literally can't even be with you or see with you, let alone talk to you. Oh, holy crap. I'm gonna cry. I'm going to cry. I am so insane. Well, bitch, okay. Well, I love you and I miss you every day that you're not here.
What? What? First of all, why just cry? If why do you keep telling her you're about to cry? Just cry or don't cry. Like, what the fuck? I'm about to show you I have some emotions inside of me. I'm on the cusp. While I say these things in a very robotic manner, I'm going to tell you with my words that I'm a ball of emotions on the inside. Like, bro, you know, what are you talking about? That was amazing. That was like the worst acting I've ever seen. That was like serial killer, and the police already have like the DNA and everything, and they're like asking him where he was, and he's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, that girl, when he already denied he knew the girl. It's like 10 years later, and he's like, oh, I do recollect. Oh, sad story. Yeah, Susie. Yeah, I remember her now. Yeah, we might have crossed paths actually. It was a consensual relationship. What? No, you're a fucking psychopath. What are you doing? Jesus Christ. Every time he looked up at the camera, this is what he was. It was giving this. It was giving this the whole time. I swear. Every time he said, I'm so close to crying. I swear, dude. This is all I was thinking about that whole video. I was like, this Jet done did it again. He know exactly how the men's be acting.
It's raining and I'm stuck here, so let's talk about all the shitty things my ex did. I don't know if we should start in like the past with the things that I kind of let slide accidentally, or if I should start with what led to our breakup. Let's go with what led to the breakup first. Wow, where do we even start? After he was door dashing throughout the night and doesn't come home, and I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, where are you? And he's like, oh, there's a DoorDash promo. I'll be home within the hour. 6 a.m., not home. Don't see him the whole day. Next night, same thing. Meanwhile, throughout the day, he's blowing my phone up about somebody hacking our internet. Somebody's been into the house. Somebody's messing with him, like super paranoid. So that night, he goes out door dashing again, says he's going to be home at midnight, does not come home at midnight. I wake up again, 6 a.m., and I'm like, where are you? Got to get the kids places to school and this, that, and another, and you're not here. He tells me he's feeling like himself and he's going to go check himself into the mental hospital. Okay. Would you like me to drive you? How can I support you? What do you need? No, I want to drive myself so that way if I don't like it, I can leave. I don't think that's how it works. Spends the whole day not going to the hospital. Oh, I'm going to eat a pretzel. I need to eat something first before I go in. Oh, I have an appointment to get evaluated with a behavioral psych therapist at 11. So now I'm just waiting for that. Okay, 5 o'clock comes. Why haven't you gone to the hospital? Finally, he checks himself in. I don't even know if he actually checks himself in until I get a phone call from him later and he's like, I'm checked in. I have a room to myself tonight, blah, blah, blah. They're going to change my medications, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Another 6 a.m. rolls around. Day 3 now, okay? Get another call at 6 a.m. Hi, I checked myself out. Why? Why did you check yourself out? It was too loud in there. Okay. Takes an hour and 20 minutes to come home from the hospital. That's 10 minutes from the house. So I'm getting ready for work, trying to get my kids ready for school. Where are you? Why is your location off? What's happening? What's going on? Calls me again. This time, there are 3 cars that are following him and 2 cops, but nobody's pulling him over. Nobody's doing anything. So he's going to pull into this neighborhood and just start walking around and pretending like he lives there or something. I said, that's sketchier than potentially these 3 cars that are following you. So I'm like, just come home. You just need to sleep. I'm trying to like de-escalate. I have no idea what's going on besides the fact that he just keeps disappearing and he's not up there. Okay. Finally, he gets home an hour and a half later. He comes into the house. He's loud. Sign number 1. His jaw keeps moving. Sign number 2. Okay. I said, let me see your phone real quick. Let me check that location issue and figure out what's going on. As soon as I open the phone, he's on the screen to delete apps. He hadn't deleted it yet, but he had Grindr and another dating app where you meet multiple people to do multiple things at a time. I said, excuse me? Where have you actually been? Get out of my house right now, okay? So I tell him he can have the day to pack up his stuff, but he needs to be out later that night when I come home from work. We'll talk later. I need to get the kids to school. I need to go to work. There's too much going on right here, but we are over. I'm done. So of course, he starts crashing out, crying, slamming his fist down. I've ruined everything, blah, blah. Yeah, you have. You're right. What do you want me to do about it? Feel sorry? Because I don't. What do you want me to do about it? So then he starts with the threats of like, ooh, I'm not going to be here, like alive when you get back. And I said, I can't come home to a missing person or a person. I need to know that you are going to be alive, sober, and here when I get home. Otherwise, there's nothing I can do. So he's like, fine, I'll be here. And then I leave. I go to work, okay? And the whole time, as I'm on my way to work, I'm on the phone with my kid's school because there's a bus issue. And he calls me. And I have to ignore the call because I'm on the phone with my kid's school. And I text him, and I'm like, sorry, can't answer on the phone with my kid's school. And then he texts me, I love you. First off, don't say that right now because what do you mean you love me, but you doing other things with other people? Anyways, don't say that. Second, the way you're saying that is like a goodbye, I'm off to, So I'm like, I will call the cops. So I call him. He doesn't answer. Goes straight to voicemail. It's off. Goes straight to voicemail again. It's off. What am I going to do? Call the cops. Hi, I'd like a wellness check on. The cop tells me I should get a magistrate order to make him go back to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, I've never done that. He tells me I need to leave work. And then he goes, wait a minute. You said there's supposed to be a car here? There's supposed to be a car there because I have the key. There's no car in your driveway. What do you mean there's no car in my driveway? So this man stole the spare key and disappeared, took off. And then the cop goes, oh wait, the car that matches your description is pulling up. And I said, oh good, he's home. Great. So he's back. I don't know where he went and what he probably just did, but whatever. So he gets back and the cop calls me back after he speaks to him and he goes, yeah, you really need to leave work and go to the magistrate's office. Something's not right. Something's going on. And I can't tell what it is, but he needs to be psychologically evaluated. I said, cool, I'm leaving. So I leave work and I end up having to go straight to the house because he starts texting me, take me back to the hospital. I want to go. I need medicine. I need help, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I would rather do that than go to the magistrate's office and get a court order basically where you have to be put in handcuffs and be forced to go to the hospital. So I figure the easiest way here is to just bring you myself. So I pull up to my house and the cop is like, what are you doing here? And I explain to him as he's inside packing a bag, like getting ready to go. And in the meantime, the cop had gotten bit by my neighbor's dog. So there's a lot going on at once. And more cops have showed up and EMS is on the way. Lot happening. So the cops are like, what would you like us to do? And I was like, honestly, I don't know what's going on in his head. I would feel safer if you just kind of like hang tight. I'm going to go in and check on him. He's taking a while to pack his bag. I go inside and of course he starts with the arguing and the back and the forth. And I'm like, I'm just here to take you to the hospital. We don't have to talk about anything in the car right there. Like clearly this is not the time nor the place. And he starts flipping out. He is shaking my dryer against the wall. So when I reach and put my hand on the back of his neck to try to get him to like calm down and stop smashing my dryer against the wall, he like throws back and he like throws me into the wall. And so that's where the bruises came from and how things got physical. So yeah, then the next day rolls around and I get a call around lunchtime from him in the hospital. He's been in the ER the whole time. He hasn't even made it up to the mental health room because he has been using alcohol and coke. So, cool. He was also sober when he downloaded the dating apps and when he went to his doctor and got a prescription for Adderall. Because why would an addict, and why would a doctor of an addict give you a prescription of Adderall? Great question. But anyways, so that transpired the whole circle of events, and I have only been finding out more and more and more about the shitty things that he did. So if you don't want your actions talked about, be a better person.
Oh. Oh my. That was a lot. That was a lot. At the end, you know, it's funny. The men tend to always try to do these like cease and desist and like stop the women from telling their story. Like she's just don't do this type of stuff. And then women won't have a story to tell. Y'all be so concerned about the women exposing y'all. You guys be more concerned about the women exposing you versus the things that you've done to the women, which, you know, makes sense because, I mean, you know, you guys are fucking terrible. But yeah, I mean, the same thing for him. Same thing. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. It was the whole time. It was this. He was getting same thing. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, I need to go to the hospital. Boy, you ain't in no danger. You just high on coke. Stop. And you were just fucking, you're being a whore. You're being a floozy, a skank, a scallywag. You know? And this is not, I mean, the extreme, you know, the extremeness of his story, if you will, that's not common. But yeah, man, most of this shit is fairly common to some varying degree. I promise you, like, so many women have stories like this where the men just did weird stuff, lied. You know what? I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna end it on this. I think I figured out what a red flag is. This is what a red flag is. You guys let me know if this is a good way to measure a red flag. Because people say leave at the first sign of at the first red flag. I don't know, because red flags differ in everybody's mind. This is the thing that I would consider to be a red flag. The red flag to me is when somebody does something that is not easily explainable. Like if somebody does something and there's not like a rational explanation for it, even I'm saying it doesn't mean that there only has to be one explanation for it, but the rational explanation for it that thing has to be the most logical thing, right? Where it's like, I don't have to wrap my brain in a pretzel and be, anything like that. Or if it's something that they can't explain at all. They do something that can't be explained. There is a 8-hour gap or whatever. They just disappear for 8 hours and they can't explain where they went, whatever. That type of shit, okay, to me, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. But if you can explain it rationally, I don't know what, like, that's why I don't tell people leave at the first sign of a red flag, because it when those things can be rationalized, it can take like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before you start to go, okay, this doesn't make sense. I can understand one time or two times. Now we're on the fifth time. That's what makes it irrational now. Now I can't explain it. I can explain the first two. I can't explain the last three. Again, we're right back to it. So that's my best, version of what a red flag is. My best explanation of what a red flag is.